Trump media has just sued a Brazilian Supreme Court justice, showing how much Trump is willing to cozy up to right-wing dictators like Putin and right-wing allies in Brazil. My name is Dina Doll with the MeidasTouch Network. Let's break this down. So the timing of this lawsuit is what makes this so stunning, because the Brazilian Supreme Court justice is issued. Justice Moraes had just received an indictment against Trump's friend, right-wing ally Bolsonaro. He was the one who denied the fact that he lost the election, evidently plotted the murder of the Supreme Court justice at issue here. And Trump saw him as an ally, as a friend, because he himself tried to overturn an election. And so the Supreme Court justice who was in charge with overseeing the federal investigation into this attempt to overthrow the election in Brazil, had just received the indictment and had to decide what to do about the indictment when Trump media sues him personally. Now, the New York Times had just interviewed this Trump ally, Bolsonaro, about a month ago. And when they asked him, what do you think is going to happen with your investigation and will you get indicted? What will happen with that indictment? And he told the New York Times that basically he thought Trump would help him. And sure enough, just hours after the Supreme Court justice receives the indictment, Trump media sues him. And they sue him about something, they allege to be different. But the interesting thing is whether or not they should have been part of the lawsuit at all. Because what is at issue here is that the Supreme Court justice had ordered Rumble, a group, a social media platform, to take down certain social media accounts that had threatened to intimidate and to harass. And so the justice issued an order to Rumble asking that the account be taken down. Rumble is one of the parties in the lawsuit. So it's Rumble and Trump media suing the Supreme Court justice. The order wasn't against Trump media. Trump media says that the reason why they have joined the lawsuit is because of cloud servicing that Rumble provides. So really, they didn't really need to be part of the lawsuit at all. It wasn't as if there was an order to take down an account on Truth Social. This was an account on Rumble. And the timing of the lawsuit, just hours after the justice received this indictment that's going to impact Trump's ally, makes it even more suspicious that Trump media joined the lawsuit against this Brazilian Supreme Court justice. And if you were still wondering whether or not this was all a coincidence, let's look at the lawyer, Mr. De Luca. He is a lawyer and is speaking out about the case for Trump media. Well, it turns out he's also a lawyer for the Trump ally in Brazil, Bolsonaro. He was the one, in fact, who arranged the New York Times interview. So make no mistake, this is not coincidence. This is corruption. And if there's even more of a reason for Trump not to like the Supreme Court justice, that his company, which he owns 53% of, even if the stock is now being controlled by Don Jr., another reason for him not to like Justice Morales is because he actually went toe-to-toe with X and Musk, not that recently, saying that Musk couldn't have their platform in Brazil unless they were willing to take down accounts that were harassing and, having hateful speech, as they used to do when it used to be Twitter, and taking down accounts that had discrimination or hateful speech or rhetoric. And here in Brazil. So when Justice Morales went toe-to-toe against Musk, saying that he needed to take down certain posts on X, otherwise he couldn't operate in the country, Justice Morales won. And I'm sure that didn't endear him to Trump, and may have also been part of why Trump media decides to personally sue him. The Trump media lawsuit against the Supreme Court justice doesn't limit itself to legal arguments about whether or not the gag order issued to the Rumble Inc. was valid. The constitutional First Amendment arguments that you would see in a typical lawsuit relating to that. Why Trump media is involved in it, as I said, is even a whole separate question. But the brief also has arguments that the right-wing ally, Trump's right-wing ally, would love. There's a whole section called Justice Moraes leads a sweeping campaign to silence political dissent. As we know, this is the justice who is overseeing the federal investigation into Trump's right-wing ally, Bolsonaro, and whether or not he tried to overturn an election. And Trump media's brief is basically just talking about how Justice Moraes is leading this campaign to silence political dissent. Again, this brief coming hours after that justice received an indictment. And they're not even trying to pretend that this somehow isn't related to politics, because in another part of the brief, they specifically reference Trump's executive order. Not even a nod and a wink, that this has to do with Trump and his presidential power that he's been given and now is abusing. They say in paragraph 50, the United States' long-standing opposition to foreign judicial overreach is further reinforced by Executive Order 14203 issued on February 6, 2025. This order underscores the U.S. government's unequivocal commitment to protecting its citizens, entities, and allies from illegitimate foreign judicial actions. So Supreme Court justice there, and he's really putting on notice to anybody here from this lawsuit that it's not just Trump media that agrees with this, that Trump media is acting on behalf of Trump's executive order. And if they think, who knows, will the Attorney General, come in on this lawsuit or file an amicus brief on the lawsuit? Who knows? But this is how you get to intimidate. This is how you get people to obey in advance. Trump leveraging the power of the presidency to intimidate this Brazilian Supreme Court justice. Trump media, by citing Trump's executive order, making no bones about it, making this political in nature. Again, no reason for them to have even joined the suit. This gag order wasn't against them. It was against Rumble. Joining the suit, having a common lawyer, referencing Trump's executive order, making it very clear that they want to interfere essentially with Brazil's investigation into whether or not, somebody tried to overthrow their election.
Elevate your passion using the natural power of hemp with Via. Via's developed a unique blend of pleasure-enhancing cannabinoids, libido-strengthening herbs, and a medium dose of THC all into one mind-blowing gummy called High Love. We're talking about pairing aphrodisiac herbs with a mild amount of THC. Their best-selling High Love gummy will awaken your senses, increase blood flow, and intensify any physical experience that you are having. Via just dropped their High Love bundle, which includes a pack of gummies and a THCA vape, so you can unlock the full experience at a reasonable price. A life hack for real. Trusted by over 500,000 happy customers, Via is well renowned for their award-winning THC and THC-free gummies and vapes. THCA flower, soothing topicals, and calming drops, all crafted with the highest quality hemp sourced from trusted, independently owned American farms. And the best part? Via legally ships to nearly all states in the U.S. in discreet packaging, directly to your door with a worry-free guarantee. No medical card is required. So if you're 21 years or older, check out our link to Via's website in our description and use code MISTRIAL with 2 S's, MISSTRIAL, for 15% off. And if you're new to Via, get a free gift of your choice. So I think you will love Via. It makes you feel great, and it has health benefits. It's just a really great way to unlock the power of nature and use this lifestyle hemp brand that uses compounds found in hemp along with active plant extracts to create products, each with a specific effect in mind, whether you want to get better sleep, ease anxiety, enhance your mood, or just get a little high. They have something for you. So they also have 0 THC products if THC isn't for you, and their products range from 0 milligrams and up of THC. So great quality, industry leader, made in the USA with award-winning service. You can't go wrong with quality ingredients as well. So if you're 21 years or older, check out the link to Via in our description and use the code MISTRIAL, MISSTRIAL, to receive 15% off. And if you're new to Via, get a free gift of your choice after you purchase. They'll ask where you heard about them. Please support our show and tell them we sent you. This month of love, elevate your love life with Via.
Trump media's attempt or seemingly attempt to influence or intimidate a Supreme Court justice that's overseeing their own country's attempt to overturn their election. Their interference with that in any way, shape, or form by a sitting president is corrupt on so many levels. But Trump media isn't just trying to be corrupt with a foreign country, but they're also being corrupt here in America because Truth Social has lost a lot of money for Trump media. So Trump media is deciding to make money in other ways off of Americans. Trump media is planning on issuing Bitcoin. They are trying to have ETFs related to America First or energy independence. Essentially, the policies in the budget bills, the subsidies to the oil, that's all going to benefit Trump's ETFs and not benefit Americans. The pollution, the climate change that occurs as a result of subsidizing oil, those are costs we are all going to have to suffer. But Trump, in the meantime, will directly benefit from those oil subsidies because his ETFs under his Trump media company will profit. And the Bitcoin, he's personally appointed as a SEC chair who wants to deregulate crypto. So in every instance, as Trump always is, you have to ask, is this benefiting you or is this benefiting him? And with Trump media going after and suing a Supreme Court justice, that's certainly not benefiting us as Americans who want our world to be safer, to be more peaceful, to be less chaotic. And Trump media issuing ETFs, Bitcoins, going into crypto, and at the same time, appointing the regulators who are supposed to be regulating all this. Do you think the regulators that Trump appoints are going to be looking after maybe the everyday person who's trying to invest in Bitcoin? Or is that regulator going to make sure that those regulations work for Trump?
Can't get enough Meidas? Check out the Meidas Plus Substack for ad-free articles, reports, podcasts, daily recaps from Ron Filipkowski, and more. Sign up for free now at MeidasPlus.com.